said you weren't coming back here tonight.
Could have been there, Ramona. It was great.
What was? Did you get the money? Did Ronnie leave any?
No. What happened to me was a lot better than money. It was even better than lovemaking. You know what? I'll tell you what we're gonna do. You can help me unwind a little bit later on, huh? And we'll celebrate.
Vince, that hurts.
That feels good.
Celebrate what? What are you so high on?
Russ Weaver. I shot him out at Saddleback. He's dead.
I can't believe it.
Well, Stacy said you'd still be here. If this is a bad time,
No, not at all. I was just going over some charts, expanding some of my comments. I welcome the break.
Well, you certainly have crammed a lot into a small space.
It is a little claustrophobic sometimes, but it's really pretty well put together. We couldn't ask for a better location, especially for the kind of patients we're trying to help.
Would you say that you've been successful?
Oh, very. We see up to 60 patients a day.
Good heavens. How many of you are there?
Well, 2 doctors, 1 RN, and 1 very perceptive receptionist who is very good at separating the wheat from the chaff. She brings whole new meaning to the word triage.
She sounds like a real find.
Yes, she is.
Well, I must say that I'm very impressed, Dave. I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't the most significant social service the city has to offer.
Well, thank you. Coming from you, that's very high praise. Well, how about the 25-cent tour?
Why not?
Well, as you can see, we've separated it into 3 examination areas.
Oh, yes.
We tried to squeeze it in a 4th, but it just didn't work. Actually, this setup is the best. Ben and I work simultaneously, and when one of us finishes, well, we move into the 3rd booth. We are. Right back where we started.
Well, thank you, sir. That was very impressive.
Only to the carefully trained eye, I'm afraid.
Maybe, but I think I qualify for that status. Remembering how many years we worked together on the abortion clinic.
You were my right arm then.
That's right, and I think you've capitalized on some of the things we learned from that venture. I see some of the same principles used in this setup.
Well, organizational principles, maybe, but that's about it.
That's right. All of that has become a rather touchy issue with you now, isn't it? Stacy told me about your newfound faith.
Well, let's just say that when young ladies come here for an abortion, they get a little upset with us.
It's ironic, isn't it? It was doctors like you who used to make us the angriest back then.
I think I understand now where a lot of that anger came from.
Well, one thing hasn't changed. You're still as determined to lend a helping hand where one is needed. I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't exactly what you had in mind from the very start.
It's funny you should pick up on that. I was here almost a month before I realized that.
Do you remember when we were redecorating the living room? And we knew what kind of paint we wanted for the walls, but we didn't know exactly how to describe
That
it.
pale green with just a touch of blue?
Exactly. We went into the paint store and nearly drove the man crazy.
Well, we were a little crazy.
Until he found exactly the right combination.
And then we yelled so loud he almost had a heart attack.
That's right. He did, didn't he? Oh, well, that's what it's like seeing you here. It's right. It fits. It's the right combination of everything, honey. It would have been impossible to articulate it beforehand.
And only you could possibly know it.
When you came to see me before, it was more awkward than it should have been, and that was my fault.
Oh, no, I should have called first. I really should have.
Well, I use the same tactic, so I obviously disagree.
I don't know if I told you how sorry I was that Amelia died.
Thank you. It was hardly unexpected. We never did patch things up between us, but at the end, Mother and I did have a workable relationship, and I settled for that.
I was in Ohio after that, you know.
Yes, I know, you told me. Why, Dave?
For this?
Maybe it's just as well that you didn't find me then. Because after settling Mother's estate, I just wasn't... Well, I wasn't interested in the past. Jim and Alice Bennington invited me to stay with them at Key West, and I accepted, and they wisely left me alone while I worked out some things of my own. Then I came on to Mexico.
And now you're back here. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about the past now?
Well, it has to be dealt with. I'm not going to let the same mistakes Mother and I made happen again.
Yeah. I'd have liked to have done it a lot slower, you know? Make it last a lot longer. But I didn't have the time.
All right, enough already. Gives me the creeps till you carry on about it.
Does? Come here. You love it, don't you? Huh? You love that, don't you? Well, maybe someday you'll understand. But you're right, Ramona. I ain't got time.
What's that mean as far as I'm concerned?
That means that you better get your little tail out there on the street and hustle up the next 48 hours. Now, how much we got?
A little over 600.
How much over 600?
625.
What?
Hey, don't start ragging on me, Lance. I've been doing the best I can.
All right, honey, what do you got set up for tonight?
Only 2 so far.
You got 2?
But don't worry, they're loaded. It'll be fine.
That's right, it's gonna be fun. You're gonna do a little extra night duty work here.
What do you mean?
You're gonna roll those 2 guys.
No way, Lance.
What'd you say?
Hey, look, I've got to make a living around here after you're gone. I can't afford to be known as someone who rolls her customers.
Would you rather be known as a hooker without teeth? Huh? Huh? Or would you rather be known as the one with scars all over her face? Huh?
Well, yeah. And when are you going to do it? You can't do it now. I wouldn't be any good to you if you did. Unless you're ready to leave with only $625.
No. I'm willing to take a risk here. I'm gonna wait around here for you to earn it for me in the next 48 hours. How's that sound to you, baby? Huh? You know what else I'm willing to do? I'm willing to do the same thing to you that I did to Weaver. Huh? So I want you to make Lance real happy now. Hey? All right? Yeah. I'm gonna go with you tonight. I'm gonna be right outside that door there. So when you come out, you better have a lot more money than the going rate. Okay? That's right. That's good, baby. Let's go. Come on. We got work to do. Come on. Let's go. Let's go.
Dr. Powell to the clinic. Dr. Powell to the clinic.
Mary Ann.
Lori.
Ben called and told me what happened.
Russ was dead. When we were in the ambulance, everything just stopped.
But that was only for the moment. He's all right now.
I don't know. He's still in the operating room. Ben didn't say anything very encouraging. There was so much blood.
Well, you were there. And you got him here in time. You've got to believe that. You've got to hold on to that.
I want to.
Oh,
What is it, Lori?
the baby's kicking.
Maybe we better sit down.
You know, the fact that Russ is in surgery means that he's still alive. He does have a chance for life. And Ben not being so encouraging, well, you know, he's never been one to give people false hope.
Well, you were right about us being there. I know Ben was angry, and he had every reason to be. But I wasn't wrong to be there, Lori. It may have been for all the wrong reasons, but it was the right thing to do.
I know. I don't quite understand why or how, but I agree. It may be crazy, but it's as if God knew what had to happen. And knowing all the personalities and all the factors involved, the only way he could make it happen was to work through our own faults, like Ben's anger. I mean, I know that Ben was meant to be there, but it was his anger that got him there.
Hi.
Hi.
Dr. Einhorn just finished.
Isn't it fascinating the way our paths have taken such divergent ways?
Yes, it is.
You know something? I don't think you've given yourself enough credit.
I don't understand.
Well, I'm not doubting that you've encountered something valid and worthwhile in this religious experience of yours. Your newfound faith sounds like someone I used to know. A fella named Dave Phillips.
Kate.
Now, wait just a minute. You've attributed to him all the qualities and strengths you once had. But isn't it possible that you've just rediscovered them yourself? Now, don't get me wrong. I think you should use anything worthwhile that will bring them into focus again, but I just don't want you to sell yourself short.
What I had before is just a shadow of what's mine now. Maybe we better go into this some other time, huh?
Probably. Now, tell me all about this grand opening of yours. This fundraiser to help make up for what you refuse to accept from the government.
Do I detect a slight note of sarcasm?
Possibly, but tell me anyway.
Well, I'm afraid grand is the last thing it's going to be.
Oh, when is it scheduled?
Well, it isn't, really. But we were thinking about the end of this week.
Oh, you're joking.
Well, nothing is set in stone.
Oh, well, thank heavens for that.
Well, we've been very busy here.
Well, I realize that, but please forgive me. I don't mean to be overbearing, but when you've handled 2 or 3 million of these things, you have certain opinions about how they should be handled.
Well, if you'll share them with me, I'll listen. I know it's your forte.
Tell me, why are you calling it a grand opening?
I don't know, because that's what it is.
Is it?
Well, basically.
But you've been open for several months.
Well,
Tell me, what kind of people do you hope to attract?
well, those in the upper income bracket, of course.
Exactly. Those 600 to 800 professional men and women who attend these functions each year. And they know exactly why they're being asked to give. So why not just dispense with the grand opening and be honest? Call it a fundraiser, pure and simple.
Okay.
And for heaven's sakes, with all the publicity that needs to be generated and the invitations that must be sent out, push this thing back a week or even 2 weeks if possible.
I don't suppose you'd like to be the one who does the pushing.
For a cause as good as this, why not?
Is Russ still alive?
Barely. His vital signs are very weak, and he'll be in recovery for the next couple of hours. Then we'll take him up to ICU.
Was he going to make it?
Well, I'd like to believe that he will, but I'm not making any guarantees.
Well, that's it then. I guess I can just as easily pray at home for him.
Listen, do you need me to go?
No! I appreciate your support. I just need to be alone right now.
I understand.
Well, I'm gonna head back over to the emergency room. Mrs. Krantz, that brittle diabetic we see over at the clinic all the time, was brought in by an ambulance.
When will you be home?
At this point, I don't have any idea. Marianne, you sure you're okay?
I'll be fine, Ben.
Now, I'm not going to mention the fact that I really didn't think it was a good idea for you to come out tonight.
Well, then neither will I.
Any more pains?
Not like before.
Go home, put your feet up.
I promise.
Bye.
Bye. You want to get some coffee or something first? Look, I'm only a phone call away if you need me.
I don't think I will. I appreciate it, though.
Dr. Pruner to emergency.
Okay.
Dr. Pruner to emergency.
Lori, wait. don't know what I'm supposed to be feeling right now. I don't know what the right thing is for me to feel. I loved Russ. Maybe I still love him. I care very much about what happens to him, but I'm afraid of what will happen to me if I care too deeply.
Listen, Russ may be dying. How can showing compassion for him be wrong? I'm gonna go.
I tell you, Ione, I don't think my hands are ever gonna recover.
Well, now, a little hot water never hurt anyone.
Hot ain't the word for it.
Well, the important thing is the dishes are clean.
Yeah, but you melted down the silverware.
You know, I think I just better be going just about now.
Look, I thought you was gonna stick around till Jean got back.
Well, yes, I was, but I tell you, I've learned one thing about Gene in the reporting business. Either he's home real quick or not at all.
Well, you know, I kinda like you to stick around.
Well, why is that?
Well, you know.
Oh, yes, I know. I understand, but would you believe me if I tell you that I was in the same situation once, Monk? Try as I may, I just couldn't do anything or say anything to please that lady.
Maybe, but I don't think it's the same with us. I mean, she makes me feel so guilty just being around here.
Oh, Monk, don't get discouraged. You know, sometimes it takes some folks a little longer to adjust to a new situation.
Yeah. Hey, Mom! Well, I thought you'd be long gone by now.
Well, is that a request?
No. You remember what we talked about before? I told you don't be coming around this place knocking on the door like some stranger or something. This place is just as much yours as it is ours.
Hey, Gene, what happened to that guy that got shot, man?
Oh, he's alive, but he's in critical condition.
Oh, Lord, help him.
Yeah, that's about all there is to tell. Other than Lance is probably the one who shot him.
Well, what are the police doing about catching that man? First it was Babs and Miriam, now it's Russ Weaver.
Yeah, I guess we'll try him. Where's Carla?
Oh, she's upstairs helping Jimmy with his homework.
Oh, well, I better get up there and say goodnight to that little boy.
Now, hold on. I have a better idea. Why don't you just let me go upstairs and say my goodbyes? You and Monk have a little something to discuss.
So what's up, buddy?
Oh, what bother, man?
Well, this is lovely.
Thank you. I was really very lucky to find it. I think it suits me.
Oh, definitely.
Well, have I given you enough to do?
Me? You're the one who's going to do all the real work.
Well, your list will get longer.
Yes, but so will yours. I don't know if I've already told you, but thank you. I know that with you behind us, our financial strain will become a thing of the past.
Oh, now wait just a minute. Don't count your money until you have it in. And yes, you have thanked me. About 16 times.
Well, this will be 17 then. At least you know I mean it. Oh, that list of contributors you were talking about, what did you call it?
Oh, please sit down.
Oh, thanks.
It is called the Golden 100. But that's a private joke, so please don't tell anyone. If they ever knew that I referred to them that way, it would be the end of me.
Are they really that reliable?
Well, let's just say if I'm behind a cause, they're behind the cause. It has to do with some of the older group. Bormans, Cliffords, Hattie Wingfield, that whole set.
Yeah, well, I'm sure my name will work wonders with them.
Well, there may be problems with some of them who remember your last years in Kingsley.
The town drunk socks it to them.
Well, some of them may remember you that way, but there will be others who see you for what you're trying to do, will see beyond that. And then besides, there are new ones, younger ones that you don't know. A good percentage of them are activists during the 60s.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, now, don't have that attitude. They're really delightful people, and we have to capitalize on what's available. I think your clinic is just the kind of project that will appeal to them, at least those who have any idealism left. Who knows, maybe it'll be a harbinger of an era to return.
Yes, maybe I'll even become a cult hero.
You're impossible.
How does one make $50,000 a year when one is only in one's 30s?
Well, there are some things I'm more comfortable not knowing. Now, don't you worry about it. You just practice being pleasant. It's getting late.
Yes, it is. Well, who calls who now?
Well, why don't you call me tomorrow afternoon, and by that time I will have had time to make some more lists.
Wonderful. Well, this has been, well, what I mean to say is that...
I know. A great help.
It's been more than that. It's been very nice, Kate. Very nice.
Yes, it has.
Well, why don't you go ahead and answer that, and I'll let myself out.
Oh, thank you.
Good night.
Lee, why is it so important where I was tonight? Well, we didn't really have any plans. What? Well, I assumed that you meant it. And when something else appeared, I naturally followed through on it. No, it was business mostly. I don't think I like the tenor of this conversation. Could we please drop it? Well, I don't know about lunch tomorrow. Well, I may be busy. Yes, with the same person, but it is not definite. I'll tell you what. The second I know I'm free, I'll give you a call. Right. Good night. Why are you so defensive, Kate?